I'd like to call tonight's select board meeting to order. We started the meeting with allegiance, so if you're able to rise, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item on the agenda is the AP warrant number 9, the amount of $380,680.20.
I'll move that we pay AP warrant number 9 in the amount of $380,680.20.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to pay AP warrant number 9, the amount of $380,680.20. Is there any further discussion on? All in favor? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is payroll journal number 124, the amount of $11,900.17.
I'll move that we pay payroll journal number 124 in the amount of $11,900.17.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to pay payroll journal number 124 in the amount of $11,900.17. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Next item on agenda is the minutes of Monday, September 9th, regular meeting.
I will move that we approve the minutes of the September 9th Select Board meeting as provided.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the minutes of September 9th as written. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Next item on the agenda is public comment on non-agenda items. This is an opportunity for any resident of the town of Pownell to step forward and be heard by the select board. Is there any resident from the town of Pownell who would like to step forward?
This is.
Sorry, we're not residents. Yeah. Good evening. My name is Tim Hakes, and my wife Emily and I live just south of here in Falmouth. And on Friday, we entered into a contract with Willis Dowdy to buy his piece of land right adjacent to the park on Hallowell Road. And we came tonight for two reasons. One, just to introduce ourselves and tell you what we're up to. And then two, to ask your insights on the status of the road. We just started our due diligence on this purchase. And so we wanted to get your insights on the status of a road that is adjacent to the property. For what it's worth, we are just buying this property as a long-term investment. We hope to use it to hike and hunt and learn about forestry. We don't really have any plans to develop it. We might in fact remove the buildings that are already on it. And we wanted to let you all know that. I know it's a big piece of property in an important spot, and we didn't want you to think we were coming in to try and develop it. So we're happy to take any questions you have about that before we talk about the road. Is that any questions about?
No.
Okay, great. I don't know, I guess everybody's familiar with this property. And there's a access road to it that runs between the park and the property that used to be Tuttle Road, I guess, a long time ago. We're not quite sure how long. We have somebody doing formal research on it, but we thought we should come to you and see what you think the status of that road is and get your feedback on that if you know.
Can I speak to it?
Sure.
As far as we know, it's an abandoned town road.
Okay.
Now, there's a big difference between abandoned and discontinued.
Mm-hmm.
Abandoned means that we haven't maintained it for over 30 years.
Okay.
Discontinued, to discontinue a road, we have to go before the town's legislative body, which is the taxpayers of the town,
Right.
and have them vote on discontinuance.
Okay.
So
And so as an abandoned road, there's still a right of way?
the town still owns the right of
The
way.
right of way, okay. But I guess the property owner of the property we're looking at and and the state with the park are jointly responsible for maintaining it or not? Or does anybody
No.
maintain it?
Nobody does.
So, okay, so how does it get?
So there's no ownership of that road. Town maintains, no one else pays taxes on it.
I see.
Town maintains the right of way. Expressly has abandoned it. Some people have used it, as a access to backlots which exist between Route 9 and the existing. So,
I see.
the town can't separate landowners from backlots.
I see. Is the park the only backlot there at the moment?
Couple of lots.
Oh, okay. Okay, and so do you guys know if there's
Why don't you
prepare
tell us
to-
what you said you are hiring, you've hired somebody to look into it. What kind of formal,
we just are asking them to find out the formal status of it and what that means as far as our responsibilities to use it or maintain it, or what happens if somebody gets hurt on it? Is it our problem? That kind of stuff. So because we're trying to make sure that we can maintain access to the main body of that property.
so abandoned roads, discontinued roads are a legislative nightmare.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I mean, and you're not the first person to have asked the question. I think my best answer would be for the landowner, after having done some research, to come to the town and enter into some kind of understanding, which would have to be approved at a town meeting.
I see.
So the select board has no authority to convey
I see.
any kind of,
I see.
but that does not negate the opportunity to go to town meeting.
Great. That's great. And you,
No, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
That's really good.
great. So do you have other questions? Okay, great. Thanks for your time and thanks. And if you have any questions, we're all ears. We're just trying to learn. Okay.
Likewise yourself, when you get a determination from whoever you've hired, make sure we have an excellent town planner and, I don't know if you met Tom yet.
Not yet. No, this all started on Friday. So we're just beginning. But we wanted to start here because when you meet next, it might be too long.
Thank you.
Terrific.
We
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other, resident of town of Pownell want to step forward and be heard? Next item on the agenda is, department head reports. That's an opportunity for the select board to question any department heads, but department head reports can be found on the website. Click on the department and the report is there. Select board, do you have any questions for the two department heads that are here?
I have none.
Okay, do I? Select board, have any reports under this?
Our generator at the pump house is active.
Okay, was it in?
And I gotta tell it, Josh will be in. Yeah, and we'll have your permit to you.
So it was inspected by the appropriate? Great. No more. That's great. Matt Nielsen?
It's a great feeling for both Matt and I.
That was, whenever there was a power outage, I tended to I know it has the phone anyway. So thank you for all the service you did for that. Great. How about the generator at the North Pownell Station?
That, I don't know what the status is on that as of yet. I know Chief Peters was going to talk with the next door neighbor again, and I don't know where that has gone.
But it'll still be. that it, Andy?
That is it.
Okay. I just have one comment. As I was driving point A to point B Friday, I noticed that Casella was picking out the trash by hand.
Really? Hmm.
They had three guys working the truck. So just wanted to put that on record.
Well, you need three guys and a little boy to pick up those bins.
Yeah, they really struggle with.
Yeah.
You shouldn't laugh because it looked like it was a really hard work, but if it's the fourth day or the third day of automated and something broke down, then I didn't call Casella to comment.
To say, yeah, 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 yeah.
Next item is new business, general assistance maximum adoption. This is something we do every year. The state supplies us with the data, and we need to vote to approve it. We really have no say on it. So Andy, would you move to approve the,
Yes, I will. I will move that we approve the Cumberland County General Assistance maximums for the year of 2024, 2025.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded to approve the Cumberland County General Assistance maximums. Day of September 2024. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? That'll go in the book, be posted. All right. Next item is under refunds on Pownell trash bags. All right, so, we now have, kind of reluctant to say this. We now are in possession of a quantity of trash bags. Are you aware of that, Mr. O'Brien?
I am.
Is Day, you aware of that? Because of that, I think, Becky, is this trying to end is this item more than what I'm thinking about the 17 cases, or do you have a specific reason for this being on the agenda? Or?
So the solid waste committee suggested that we put trash bags out in the lobby with a sign that says free, so people can just use them as an everyday bag and not have to buy your Glad. I just had a concern that people might grab them and come back and then try to get the refund. So did we want to stop the refund during a giveaway or keep the refund going or not put them out in the vestibule? Really just, it was an idea that came forth from solid waste that we talked about. I wanted to bring forward.
So I'm personally reluctant to give them away until we look at maybe giving them to what would happen if North Yarmouth said, look at, we could use those just for they're still under pay for throw, would save them some money. I'm not sure what we could barter in return, but what's the disposition of the board? What should we do with 17 cases? Big and little trash things.
My suggestion would be to use them for Pownell cleanup day in May, but then we'd have to store them until May.
Don't mind either idea.
Well, we set a time limit on refunds and then,
Well, I think it's a two-part problem. I think we should probably say the time's up for refunds. Just post it on the website, say you have one more week, then we're done refunding. That's enough time. And then see if the Solid Waste Commission wants to have a conversation. Is Durham's tag, right? They tag their bags.
I think they've gone to the bin system too, haven't they?
They'll be moving to automated next year, but they're a tag. They don't use bags.
I mean, town residents paid for the bags, so. If there were a way that we could. Why don't you, go ahead.
Do you think that using them for cleanup day, they would all get used?
Probably not 17 cases of them.
There's 76 cases.
76
76,
cases.
and they're all large. They're not even small. So we give out maybe 8 to 12 empty bags a year in the spring. I think a lot of people just use their own, or they would just have, they'd just go purchase their own heavy duty and use them when they did it. So it'd take a while.
Is there a way to use these for some kind of assistance for some residents that need it?
What they need it for.
They wouldn't have to purchase garbage bags.
Yeah, well, that's, I think, the suggestion from the Solid Waste Commission.
First 76 households gets a free case of trash bags.
All right, let's, can we move to end the trash refund on the 30th of September?
So moved.
Second that?
I second that.
So it's been moved second, all in favor. Can we table the dispensation of the trash bags until the Solid Waste Commission can, or one of us will contact the town of North Yarmouth and see if they'd be interested in purchasing that as a discount, just to get some money back. If they can, if they don't, then that's fine. But it would seem like it would be in the best interest of the town to try to recover.
A few dollars.
76. Where did that come from? From Waste Zero or from?
Correct, from their factory warehouse.
Do we still have some coming from Hannaford as well?
Well, they're not saying they're gonna give them back. They just want us to pay that invoice. They said nothing about returning them.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll table what we do with the 76 crates. Next item is a waiver of the conflict waiver of conflict on the Brady case. Have both of you read this particular?
Yes.
Did we move and vote on this yet?
No,
Go.
I will move that we vote to waive the conflict between Jensen Baird and Mr. Brady in the case.
No.
Yep, in the town of Pownell.
Second that?
I second.
Seconded, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is department head budget reports. Am I the only one with a copy, or do you all have copies?
We all have a copy.
Great. So thank you, Becky, for doing this. Does anybody have any questions? The great accounting tool, I think that maybe we could look at this and come back next meeting. Question, unless you want to do it now?
That's
Just a quick blib about the general government. We're just about 25% of the way through the fiscal year, and it's at 22% spent at this point. So it's fairly on target. We have a lot of upfront payments that come at the beginning, TRIO, the shelter services, Maine Municipal Association dues, things like that, that are one and done payment. So I expect it to just kind of continue riding right where it is.
This could also be a good budgeting tool for the budget committee as well, when they're
Mhm.
looking at quarterly expenditures rather than over the whole year.
I can keep my copies aside for it.
Okay, well, thank you for doing that. Very Wendy. Any other questions, Kate, please? Wendy?
I have none.
Next item is the code enforcement officer coverage and job description. Do we have, all have copies of this, or is it just me?
Nope, I have one.
So perusing the cover letter. Does anyone have any problem with that? It feels like it's still pretty relevant. All right, I guess the discussion item is, it says it's a 36-hour week position. Do we want to keep it at that, or we want to go back to the 32 that we originally posted for?
I think we should keep it at the 36-hour work week. I think there's enough going on to keep someone busy.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so note edit.
Okay.
Please post it.
I will do that tomorrow.
Next item on the agenda is, oh, wait a minute. We need to talk about coverage. So I haven't seen Mr. Boston around.
I did talk to Greg and he's reluctantly willing to fill in, but it will be spotty at best.
So did you have a chance to talk to Mr. Estabrook?
Last Thursday, yes. I told him I would fill him in tomorrow morning.
So let's, apparently Estabrook's building is winding up. So we'll need somebody to just check on that. All right, so we need to formally,
We'll have to oath Greg, I believe.
formally appoint. Working across the street, right?
Right. If he doesn't fall out of the bucket, we'll be all set for a little while.
Can you prepare an oath for Greg Bosman?
Yes,
CEO's last day is
Thursday,
Thursday.
this Thursday.
Andy, would you be able to talk to him? at
Yeah.
the meeting?
Yeah,
Barney?
Yeah.
Ask him to sign the oath on Monday. Is that okay with you, Kate? Mr. Bosmuth has filled in before and good. You know, we'll get this posted. We already have one potential applicant. So how many days do we need to be posted before we can interview? 7, 13?
Well, I mean, we can leave it position open till filled, which means you can interview people as they come in. And I'll put it up for 2 to 3 weeks just to see what interest we get in the meantime.
Citizens petition, we have a petition for local liquor option. There are 2, shall the municipality authorize the state to permit the sales of liquors for off premises consumption on days other than Sunday? Shall this municipality authorize the state to permit the sale of liquor for off premises consumption on Sundays? So those are gonna be, need to be 2 separate written ballot articles. So,
we don't have to hold a special town meeting for this, do we?
isn't that correct?
That's correct. So I contacted MMA Legal just to ask a few questions because they did direct it to a special town meeting. So this one, because it has to be an actual polling day and a written ballot, they said that the municipal officers have the discretion on the next ballot printed, which for us is June, or if you wanted to hold a special day, but we did not budget or plan or anything for that. So, so it would be Articles 3 and 4 on the annual town meeting next June, but voted on the election day previously.
So we need to move to accept those warrant petitioner as due process. So Andy?
I will move that we add the petition for local liquor option articles to our annual town meeting warrant.
Second.
Second to place the petition for local liquor option articles on the next regular town meeting warrant. Any further discussion? I don't think we can say which warrant are. So any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is municipal valuation return and sales ratios, which is a mouthful. So has everyone had a chance to look?
Yes.
Andy?
I move that we accept Ms. Hayes' municipal valuation return as presented.
I second.
Moved and seconded to accept the municipal valuation return. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Those are some very interesting figures.
Hmm.
Sorry. Next item on the agenda is the sales ratio analysis. Andy?
I move that we accept Donna Hayes' sales ratio analysis as she has presented to us.
Second.
Been moved, moved and seconded to accept the sales ratio analysis as written. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? This does not need to be signed.
That one does not.
Interesting reading.
It is.
Can we post it on the website? Can we put a link to it to the website?
I can, yep.
Would you please? I think people should know why their land value and taxes have gone up. Okay. Is there any other new business? How is the office coming? Sorry.
So it's coming, I spent 4 hours there today, prepping and preparing, the stocking painting on Wednesday,
What kind of help do you need?
painting.
Okay, can we have a paint party?
Well, I got the email from Valhall Milling and Ground Committee and had a couple people that said they could try it out. And, I'm gonna start Wednesday and work through the weekend. Because I really need the floors put down before pumpkin festival. And the contractor who's gonna do the floors is going to work with us. Even if you have to do it at night, to make it happen.
So can we send a general, so when are you gonna do it? Wednesday?
I'm gonna start Wednesday. Today I did scratching holes and taking down things and vacuuming and dusting, and Maddie helped me take down the line, so we're ready.
Can we put something on the website, like all hands on deck? Wednesday, what time?
First thing in the morning, probably 8 o'clock. Maybe 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 o'clock in the morning isn't first thing.
No, I would be generous.
So the heat pumps are in.
They are done, they're done.
How about the internet?
That's run. Ion Network just needs to come and hook it into the modem, and I called them to set up an appointment for that. So we're coming along.
Electricity and we're just ready to paint, really.
You're great. You've done a great job. And Matt, thank you for being flexible. Having your office out there in the voting, exposed to the world. Thank you. Okay, if you put that out, and I unfortunately have to work, but if you're still working when I'm done, I'll come by. I'm a great painter. Okay. On that same note, how are we gonna, what security company will we use for those 2 rooms? Let's talk Seacoast Security.
Yeah, let's. I've put a call into the other one, Cunningham, which I haven't heard back on a date to come in and take a look and give us an estimate. as far as swapping over, but Seacoast is not responsive at all.
So, Kate, have you been getting any phone calls from?
No.
Oh, we'll have to add your number to the call list.
For our security system, so. And it just is not resolved after numerous phone calls, so we're considering switching companies.
Mhm.
And did you say the fire department and public works have?
Public Works doesn't have any monitoring system, but both fire stations have Cunningham and we've had no issues with them.
So as soon as they. Move in that direction.
We may have to wait till next year depending on budgetary constraints, but
Yeah, well, we have one other budgetary constraint. to Talk about under new business, so, one of the byproducts of. That we didn't know, that I didn't know, so I'm gonna own it right here. In the ending of the pay or throw bags. Is that there's inventory all over the place. One of the concerns is, one of the enterprises that has inventory is Hannaford, who sent us a $17,000 bill for their inventory. I can't imagine, you know, we need to explore. I mean, they need to show us that inventory. $17,000 is a lot of inventory.
sure is.
But we'll need to pay whatever. Well, we should talk about it. How do we, what's our next step with Hannaford? Do we go and look at the inventory? I mean, that would be a lot of bags.
Were we under any contractual agreement with Hannaford to carry them? Or did they do that of their own free will and accord?
See, nobody knows. Becky has only found a 2008 contract with Wage Zero, so, I mean, but Hannaford have the bags. So I can imagine that we could probably buy them for the price. I can't imagine having $17,000 trash bags.
I think the invoice is for like 60 cases, 60+ cases that they ordered of large, they still have. It's a lot of inventory to have on hand. For Pownell.
Hard to find the bags.
They ran out of the small because we were waiting for town meeting vote, so we didn't restock the factory, which is why we only got the large from Waste Zero this time too, and we didn't have a run of small made once the vote happened.
Well, now, the first 136 households will get.
So not to get off the point here.
Well, we really, before we pay that, we need to know if there's any contractual agreement.
Right, but we still, I mean. Yeah. It would seem poor practice to leave Hannaford holding.
The bag.
So. Becky, would you contact Hannaford and give us a chance to inspect the bags and then we'll go down and talk.
I will reach out tomorrow.
And has Waste Zero sent us a bill for the 76?
They have not. We've actually paid that already. So when I would authorize a restock of the factory, we would pay that when it happened. So those 76 cases that came to us was paid last year.
So it's gonna be.
There should not be any more bill.
Okay. All right, well, we'll figure out the Hannaford connection. How about Shaw's? They must be.
I haven't heard from anybody but Hannaford and Yarmouth. They're the only ones.
All right, is there any other new business? Okay, is there any old business that we need to kick around here? Has the Solid Waste Commission met again to talk to the Durham representatives?
They have the contact information of the chair of the Durham committee, but I don't know as if they have made a connection yet to sit down.
And the chair of the Durham committee was asking me the other day for the contact info of the chair of our solid waste and recycling.
Okay, and where are we with, I'm just gonna write down the committees, where are we with the Future Facilities Committee?
I believe October 9th or 7th. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a couple of days late. There is going to be a transitional meeting between the current committee and the incoming committee.
Future facilities?
Oh, future facilities, I'm sorry. October 9th, our select board meeting, representatives from Port City Architecture and the committee will be here to present their findings. Oh, for God's sakes. 2 days late and $2 short.
Okay, so the planning board, the next committee on the list, the planning board viewed and read, Tom Ursa's rough draft of a short-term housing, short-term rental. And they had some questions, and Tom and I have talked at length about it, whether or not this should move forward as an ordinance or as a policy. The policy would be enforced by the code enforcement officer. The ordinance would be voted for by the town government. And, you know, Tom presented the list of issues that the town has with unregistered short-term rental. So that will get bounced back to us. So for homework, you should look at a copy of that. If I'll get it to you, I'll post it on the select board email. And think about the difference between policy and ordinance. Remember, with the ordinance, we're kind of scouts honor. With a policy, we can have some kind of enforcement through the code enforcement officer. We have a couple of rumors that there are short-term rentals in attics. So I mean, whether or not that's just, you know, foxfire out there, but the reality is it could happen. They're not obligated to notify. We don't know where they are really, so.
Does that project any liability onto the town?
Such a fuzzy area because, you know, we don't have an ordinance, but does that mean we're having a conversation about them at a public meeting? So therefore, I guess one could presume we know that there are some short-term rentals, right? So I think in the best interest of the town would be to come up with some kind of policy, you know, for neighbors and for the fire department. I mean, there's so many issues.
Mm-hmm. There are.
So many-
Another question. Are short-term rentals right now?
Come up to the mic.
Short-term rentals right now required to register? Okay, so that's why you want a policy or an ordinance?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so that's homework, okay? I will send you the rough draft. We took it from another town. Okay,
Sounds good.
how about the Economic Development Committee? Where are we with that?
Okay, what's the date, Susan?
Don't hold me on this, because I don't have that on my think that one might be the ninth.
Okay. Early in October,
What's gonna happen on this date?
early in October, the Economic Development and Sustainability Committee that is presently in place is going to meet with the incoming new members and hand over the reins, basically. 3.
All right, so we'll look forward to that August event. Has the land trust received a signed document conveying the easement on the,
Yes, we signed all the beginning of August.
they signed it?
Yes, they signed it here and I notarized it. That is all set. Yep.
Right, so any other farmers market committee?
It's late in the year for that to really take off. Tabled until,
Well, they could meet over the winter. They just have to get organized.
Conservation Commission?
Is there a meeting tomorrow night? Do you happen to know? Is there a meeting tomorrow night?
I believe it is tomorrow night.
Thank you.
I'll be with the capital group on Wednesday.
Best for last, Recreation Committee, how's the planning for Pumpkin Fest coming? All set? The invoices for Pumpkin Festival Band.
Yeah,
Is this like
yeah, two days.
2 bands?
Yeah.
You wanna let the cat out of the bag? Is it like a queen, like?
The Ball Troupe. And that is Steve Brewerman has a French kind of folk band and international folk dancing with that. And then the other one is Borderline 207, which is kind of country bluegrass that we've had at open mic night. They're out of Freeport area.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And everything else is going well?
Everything's going fine.
Pumpkins are still growing?
I'm pretty proud.
Right. Is there any other old business?
I have none.
Any other business at all? Excellent. So I'm going to move that we enter executive session per 1 MRSA 4056A Personnel Matters. Thank you all for attending. It's nice to meet you all. Don't be strangers. These are always a real